Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to Teach Me How to Be a Witch, where we teach
us, not you. Not teaching you.
I cannot say that enough.
We're learning. Things are progressively
we are learning.
We're teaching our own selves.
And we are not trying to teach anybody else. You've got a new...
I changed a couple things
this week, you guys. I did a couple differently. You've got an altar now.
I do. It's not big. It's not extensive. It's just probably that big, so maybe a foot and a half wide by like that big, on my countertop in my bathroom tabletop where I do myself up in the morning. And I'm like, you know what? This is probably the best place to put an altar because it's going to be where I can ground myself in the morning. I can have my water. Or my coffee, because I'm kind of trying to do the water thing in the morning because it's better for you. But coffee is really a requirement. But it's all right there, and I have a little bit of space, and I spend 45 minutes there looking at myself, so why the hell not put an altar right there? You know what I mean?
I mean, that makes sense. I can get behind that.
So I took all my stones out of my purse. It was hard. I took all my stones out of my purse. I went and found a towel that was given to me that I loved, and it's just a little kitchen towel, so it's not big, but I wanted something so that it wasn't just sitting on the counter itself. I wanted it to be its own space.
Like a contained space.
Right. So I folded up the towel real nicely, and I laid all my stones out with their little papers underneath them because I don't know what everything is yet still. I'm working on that.
That's fair.
Yeah. So I have all my stones laid out nice. I have my candle next to it, and then I have more stones than my towel holds, so I have a side piece. On the other side. So my altar kind of makes like this T-looking thing. I have the towel going this way, and then the candles over here, and the stones on here. But again, I still have it and the writing underneath the stones because I still don't know what they are. So they're just sitting on the little bag that was written on, and I just have each stone on the word that it is. And I'm like, that works for now. And then I put my shell that I got in Alaska. I put my lava rock thing, I guess.
Thing?
It's a slate, but it looks like a lava stone.
From where?
From Alaska.
Oh.
I put that on there. So they're like Mother Earth pieces that I'm hoping to bring to my altar. And then you just told me to put coins on there for wealth and inspiration. So I did that.
Something I read.
So I did that. So it's not a very big altar, but
now you have, it's about to get bigger.
I have those. We just found this and we just cleansed it and it's fantastic. So I'm going to make moon water. The next full moon, I'm going to leave a mason glass full of water out there, and it's supposed to like infuse based upon the moon.
Okay.
And then I'm going to put a little bit of moon water in it, and I'm going to put this in my altar too. And I'm super, super excited about this one. I want to get some lacy little pretty to go under. I want to remove the towel. Yes, but I want it to be like a longer doily, not like a little circle one, like what I think of when I hear doily. So maybe like a handkerchief or something like that. But a pretty little thing that can be my base for my altar because I don't want to keep it as a towel forever. But yeah, I have an altar, you guys. I did it. I've been picking 2 stones every day, and I carry them in my little pouch, and my little pouch goes on me. One of them is a quartz crystal because
pouch? You carry a pouch on you? What are you, Zelda?
Shut up. It works. Yes, it's a little pouch, and it has my quartz crystal, and then right now it has a sunstone? Moonstone. Nope, it's not a moonstone. Damn it, what did I don't remember what I put in it, you guys.
Okay.
I don't, but it was one that was, like, supposed to, like raise my energy level, like,
okay.
I don't know. It was
I can dig that. Yeah. That's why I got that orange candle.
Yeah, it's supposed to like raise my energy level. So I'm like, okay, that combined with the quartz that's supposed to like repel.
I think if I could figure out a way for candle magic to work, I think that I could dig that.
I like candles.
I like the idea of candles.
I like candles.
But I do like scented candles, though, and those are not...
I don't think those get to play. No. They're not the same. Sorry, Charlie.
But I do want scented candles.
Just all over the place. Just all over the place.
But, I could have, a house full of candles that I just light when I get home. I mean, you're supposed to be able to, those bodega candles I showed you, with the glass ones, you're supposed to be able to just burn those.
I would be
scared for days.
No. But that's scary. Going to sleep with the candles lit? What? I'm sorry.
I mean, not a million of them. But, if you, are casting a spell on one or something and you need it to burn until it's gone.
That's why we use the little one. When you gave me this candle and you said we're going to burn it till it's gone for your spell, and I was like, that's a really long time.
Yeah.
I need it to be a shorter time frame just because I don't always sit with my candles for 4 hours while they burn.
I mean, I don't sit with candles either. You can have them burning when you're not sitting with them.
I'm at your house. We created my spell, which theoretically means that the candle should go with me. It
That's true.
Stay
You
here
can't
with
take
you.
that in the car.
So I needed it to be a small candle.
We just have to hold you hostage until the candle burns out.
Yeah, I don't know that that's necessarily a possibility today. But you had a little green one, so we used the little green one, and we did the spell that I needed, that I wanted, and hopefully it will work.
And so what's this spell supposed to do for you? What are you hoping to get out of this?
Financial stability. And I know that sounds funny because I'm in my late 30s and I probably should be financially
stable. You're in your mid-30s.
It's going to be late, sooner versus later. Going to be 36 this year. That's closer to the other side than it is this side. If you round numbers, you round up with 6. You round up with 5 too, just so we're clear.
Yeah, to 6.
No. But I'm hoping to get this really exciting new job with my company, and granted I can pay my bills, but there's not much left over. My kids are getting bigger, and things with them are more expensive now than they were when they were little.
Amen.
So I just need a little bit more financial stability within my life. That's all I'm looking for. Just a little bit more room for playing with them and enjoying life itself. Because I don't think that I should be working all the time. I think that you're supposed to enjoy life and do things and experience things. And in order to do that, we have to be a little bit more ahead than we are now.
I can agree with that.
So that's what my intention is with this spell. Is because the spell is still going on. See? It's in this little dark one.
You can move it. That's allowed.
Well, I know, but that means I have to move everything else.
That's why we have those.
I wanted it right there. I like it right there.
Okay.
Right in front.
Okay.
It's Gaia watching over all of our candles that are lit. Yes.
Okay.
So how's your week been? You've been grounding.
I've been trying.
That's a step.
Listen, I would say I probably tried my hardest yesterday.
Okay.
It did not work out for me. It was more like I was trying to make it like a mind over matter situation.
Okay.
And I was trying to just get my brain to just go somewhere else. And we're not thinking about the right now because the right now sucks.
Yep, that's totally fair.
For some context, I got my lips tattooed yesterday.
Okay.
And it's not, this is it. I'm not wearing lipstick. But it will fade to a more natural color, and that's what I'm looking for. But the process is the same no matter what the color is. Even though mine is going to be a light outcome, it's still a tattoo, and it's still on your frickin' face. And, they do use numbing cream, and she did.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Doesn't help?
Well, the first round didn't. And that's where I was really trying, because I knew I'd been laying there for 15 minutes with this goop on my mouth. And she says, try not to talk because it tastes bad. And I'm like, okay, you got me. I'll shut up this whole time. Yeah, so I'm laying there for 15 minutes. I think my lips are numb. And she asked me, is it numb by now? And I was like, yep.
Mm-hmm. Feels like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh.
Like there were areas that
hadn't fully
numb,
kicked in yet.
But there were some areas like here at the top that I noticed pretty well right away was not. It felt like it just wasn't numb at all. Like it hadn't worked at all.
But you have
right
tattoos.
There. I do. I have
10. Lots of them.
10. None of them on my face.
So, are you telling me that was the worst pain out of all of the tattoos?
And none of them had previously tried to be numbed.
Fair.
So it's not. I don't think that it's a fair comparison.
Okay, I'll give you that.
And fun fact, she informed me, and this makes sense, but I didn't think about it, that it's not. It's your lips are muscle, so you're tattooing muscle.
Oh.
That's what I said. Oh. I did not know this.
No.
I mean, if you think about it.
It makes perfect sense.
Perfect sense. Absolutely.
Like, I'm the idiot who didn't know that.
Ditto. Makes perfect sense. Didn't know that.
No.
Probably the only two idiots on the planet that didn't. Did not think about it that way. They move on their own.
Yeah.
They're muscles.
Yeah.
And I've just tattooed them. So she tried this numbing agent, and it didn't work in like some places.
You
like
said that,
right? And so like she's going along, and I'm like, okay, I can feel this a little bit, but it's not really that bad. Like I can live through this. And then she gets over into this area, and I'm like, I can't live through it. I can't live through it. I'm not gonna live through it. And this whole time I'm trying to like.
You didn't say anything?
No.
You're grounding.
Trying.
Okay.
But then she like stopped and she asked the question, and I opened my eyes because she told me like, you probably are going to want to close your eyes because she had a light right over my face.
That's fair.
And so I like closed my eyes, and like at one point like one tear
fell
while she was in the numb area. Like it was just making my eye water.
Oh, okay. Not like you were actually
water
crying.
fell.
Not like you were.
And then she like pauses up here, and she like backs up and asks a question, which I don't remember. And I open my eyes, and they just like boop. And I wasn't crying, like, and my lip wasn't quivering, but like my eyes were watering so bad from it that I like opened that, but it was like closing them was holding it together. Like I was still okay with my eyes closed. I opened my eyes, and all of the collected water just fell. And she was like, "Oh, why didn't you say anything?" Well, first of all, you're tattooing my mouth.
Yeah, how am I supposed to say something specifically?
So she used a stronger substance.
Oh.
To make it.
There's a stronger, she
said she has different ones. I don't know. She's got different levels. She had asked me previously if I had tattoos. Yes, I do. Then she asked if I had children. Yes, I do. I know what pain is.
I'm dead right now.
This is different, Home Skillet. I got news for you. This is not the same.
Nani got her didn't she get her eyeliner?
Eyeliner. Yeah, I know.
Old lady got it.
No
First
idea
tattoo
how.
is her eyeliner.
Eyeliner.
The fuck?
Of all things.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were grounding.
I was trying.
Okay.
It was not working.
Okay.
My mind doesn't like being over matter. The matter matters.
Okay.
It did not work. It did not get me out of that mindset. It did not take any pain away.
Well,
lidocaine did that.
Okay. I don't think it's supposed to do that.
But it didn't like make me. It didn't help. It didn't make me feel better. It didn't like take me to a place where it didn't like. I didn't feel it as much. No. I felt every single one of those individual stabs until she numbed my whole face. Literally, when I left, so they tell you that you have to drink out of a straw.
Your whole face.
Like the whole, whole, and a little bit of my
Dentist
tongue.
Office, like
because
dentist office.
And a little bit of my tongue, because it did get in there.
And sitting down my mouth.
But she asked a question that it wasn't a yes or no.
Oh, so you had to
I
actually
had
talk.
to talk.
Why? Why would she ask that shit?
I don't know. After she told me not to talk, I don't know. So
that's funny.
it did get in my mouth, so it was like all my lips and a little bit of my tongue
Okay.
were numb when I left this place. And you have to drink out of a straw. You can't because
yeah.
it's like coming into contact with
Yeah.
healing skin. So I had my trusty water cup
Very good.
in the car already because it
Okay.
goes everywhere with me because
Okay.
it's my favorite cup, and it keeps it at the temperature I like it because it's insulated.
Okay.
So like even when it's hot outside, I can leave it in the car and I'll have cold water when I get back there.
Okay. And now she's gonna pause for effect.
I love my cup. Took a drink of my cup, dribbled water because I couldn't. My muscles
Apparently, that's what they are.
Make it happen because I couldn't fucking feel them.
So, you don't like grounding,
and I was starving. Okay, so that was the other problem I had is I hadn't really eaten before this, and I really, really should have, but I didn't, and I don't have an answer for the question. No, starving to death, starving. Right? So I'm already hungry and I'm like concerned that I'm gonna be laying in there and she's gonna be tattooing my lips and my stomach is gonna like
audibly growl.
Yeah. So I'm like concerned about this going into the appointment.
Okay.
Okay? And it takes like an hour and some for this process to happen. So by the time I get out of there, I'm starving to death and I can't use my mouth.
So when did you eat last?
When did I eat last before that?
No, when did you eat last at this point? Did you eat yesterday at all?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, you, okay.
Yeah. It wears off after a while, but it was still kind of numb a little bit while I was eating. I was like, I jumped the gun a little bit.
Eat?
Taco Bell, because it was right effing there. It was like after I had like an errand to run after the appointment.
Something I had to use my mouth with, not
basically
soup.
After
Soup.
Seriously, if it had been soup, I would have had to drink it through a straw.
Would have been. Hey, you could have eaten a lot earlier. She's gone to Wildflower.
It was just.
That's funny.
And this whole grounding thing, I'm trying to not worry about that stuff. I'm trying to like focus my mind elsewhere. It's not working. I'm very, very aware that somebody is stabbing my lips 100,000 times with a needle, and I'm very well aware that during that time I'm also starving to death.
The first time that you did grounding, did you use a guide? I'm gonna say it like that. A YouTube video. Somebody to tell you how to ground.
Yeah, these books.
Oh. Okay. You can use
and
aids, like the music or the water sound.
So the water sound, I did try like while I was sleeping.
Okay.
And then my husband woke up in the middle of the night and it's still playing, and he has no idea what the fuck that noise is. Where is it coming from? Because it was like ocean
water.
Sounds,
oh.
Which you can't really identify. No, it doesn't, unless you know it's the ocean. It doesn't sound like the ocean.
It's you got an earful from that?
Yeah, kind of. Because he wasn't exactly thrilled when he woke up, and there's this mysterious noise that's happening in the room, and he can't figure out where the fuck it's coming from.
How long until he woke you up?
He didn't. He figured it out.
Oh, very good. I
didn't hear about it until like the next day or something.
Okay.
The following.
And you didn't revisit the ocean sounds at that point when you went to sleep?
It didn't help with anything. It was still playing when I woke up. I was like, why? Why am I waking up to this? What is that noise?
It was like at 8 hours? What did you put on?
It was a playlist on Spotify.
So it's going to play until you turn it off?
I don't think so. Usually it stops at the end of the playlist.
Okay. How long was your playlist?
There's ones that have different. Some of them are like 12 hours.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Some of them, I don't know. I didn't pay attention. I was like, it was already dark. I was trying to
you just lay down. Picked an ocean set?
Picked an ocean set. Yes.
See, and I don't do that.
That's how I pick things.
No,
I just pick them.
Do it. You have to.
Tell me it has to call to me. Tell me that. Tell me that right now.
You have to pay attention.
Pay attention.
I'm going to say it like that.
I'm too broke to pay attention.
No, I'm broke too. That's why we did this stuff. But no, like especially like when you're listening to it on your phone, like I will listen to somebody for probably 3 or 4 minutes, and if I don't like it, I'm gonna change it.
I was going to sleep. It's the ocean.
I know.
There's only so many noises it makes. And there's
that's
only
why,
so much of it that I'm even going to hear.
But your subconscious is continuing to hear it all night.
And it sounds like the ocean.
I know, so it's grounding you. So how did you feel the next morning when you woke up?
Confused. Why is there an ocean in my bedroom?
I meant like throughout your day. Normal day?
Yeah.
Everything that irritated you still irritated you?
Yeah. You know what helped me?
Okay. I'll give you that.
Tell me that's grounding.
It's Mother Earth. Yeah.
No.
You have to keep doing. Just keep working at it. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. Find somebody that you listen to, that you like to listen to. And you don't have to find somebody that will talk forever. It can be a 5-minute grounding, a 3-minute grounding. Do it while you're putting your makeup on in the morning.
Or I did try that. I tried the water noise while I was putting my makeup on, but I had a song stuck in my head and it wouldn't leave.
That one kept coming back.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay, but the thing that I needed to order off of Amazon, that one didn't come back for hours.
That one just left.
It left. Elvis has left the building
like a
with no intention of returning. Left a bad Yelp review and everything. That thought just never came back. It just and it's only because I thought I something else
but
led me
to grounding when you did that. It wasn't a grounding thing.
That's what I'm saying. If I'm purposefully shooing thoughts away when I'm already not trying to make them leave and they leave on their own, if I'm shooing them away because I'm grounding right now, who's to say when they're gonna fucking come back?
So tell it to come back later.
When is later? Sometimes I don't have for that.
5 o'clock.
I don't have time for that.
5 o'clock. Pick a time.
5 o'clock. Come back at 5 o'clock. I'm gonna have an entire grocery list
overload
of things. I have to do this and this and this and this all right now.
I can see it hit your head. Bam, bam, bam.
Oh my god, I have so much to do.
Yes. Oh, it's going to be funny. But no, okay, so if you tell it to go away, then apparently it leaves. So give it a timeline. Come back in an hour. Come back in 5 minutes when I'm not grounding.
Because that's just know that. They just know.
I don't know.
Oh, she's busy.
She said come back later.
We'll try again another time.
She said to. I don't know. Maybe it works for you. It's those whole
it doesn't appear to be working for me so far.
So find something that does.
That is the journey.
And you're still working at it. Anyways.
See, this is why I wanted to have the tarot cards, because at least it's something finite that I can see with my own ojos.
Well,
and the candles too. I do like the idea of the candles.
I mean, we just did this spell that you are going to see if it works in a couple of weeks. It's not for you, it's for me, but
no, but in a couple of weeks,
it still takes the hiring process.
I just need to believe in something. I need to find something that I legit believe.
I don't
think the stones are it. I'm not with you on the Robin Hood.
Okay,
satchel.
But you really, really dug this whole thing, the whole cosmic and.
But that only goes so far.
You're only taking it so far. It goes a lot further than you're going at right now. For that.
I don't.
You're looking for something to believe. Find something to believe in. I can't help you find something to believe in.
No, okay.
I already believe in this.
I'm not necessarily looking for something to believe in, but I'm looking for something that works. And
or a reason to believe in this.
It's not the astrology stuff. I believe because the traits and things, the mannerisms that you have as they pertain to your zodiac sign, I'm finding to be true for myself and others.
Okay, so expand upon that.
But that doesn't necessarily there's not a spell in astrology for prosperity or the
No,
spell
but
that
there's
you
a
just
time
did.
of year to do better spell, like a time that is better to do certain spells.
Yeah,
And
under
if
the
you're
moon.
not even that
cycles.
though, within like the Libra cycle or within a Leo cycle, it's better to do certain things. So work on that and figure out how. I mean, we live in the fucking desert. It's not far to go out and see the stars and learn what the constellations mean and what it means when they're in a certain point in the sky. I don't know any of that kind of shit.
I don't know that I have the patience and the mental capacity for it.
But if that's what your belief, like if that's where you
If I already feel this way
right
about
now,
it,
yeah. If you already believe in it right now, then maybe
but I
you
don't.
should
That's
try
not what
that.
I'm saying. I'm not saying I believe in it. I'm saying that I have found that the things that they've said about my zodiac sign to be true within myself. That is what I have found so far.
So
but
explain
I don't.
why that's not a believe in it then.
If I already feel like, well, I don't want to do that. Like, how is that a good idea?
Because it's a lot of work, and that's like what you're.
All of this is a lot of work.
Yes, ma'am, it is.
This is a lot of dang work.
It's a lot of fun.
Some of it's fun.
I like all of it.
Some of it's fun. I don't know. I just am having a hard time believing that any of this works because I'm not seeing the pay dirt. I'm not seeing any of the outcome. You know, I mean, how do you measure a protection spell? Because something terrible hasn't happened.
I found it really ironic that we use the evil eye candle, and that's the bracelet that she wanted specifically. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that kind of linked the fact that.
So you think that she was compelled to buy the evil eye
compelled in the
bracelet
sense, not
because the spell was cast upon her using the evil eye candle?
Makes it sound so bad. Not like scary like that, but like, oh, my candle's almost done.
Well, your spell's almost complete. You have to thank the universe when it's done.
Okay, I will do that with the same saying or.
It just says thank the universe.
Okay.
It's not very specific.
I'm sorry.
What do you know?
Irritating you about it. But no, like, I don't know, maybe not compelled is the right word, but I think that it drew her. I think that the fact that that candle was used.
Compelled? That's the word that you thought made it sound all scary? Compelled?
Yes, I don't like that word. It makes me, like, go back to when I watch stupid teenage movies and I'm like, compelled. No. It, like, drew her in. Like, that's the one that.
I can't. Okay.
That's the one that, like.
So she was drawn to this bracelet.
Yes, that's what. And maybe it's not. Maybe it's just a completely ironic instance. But to me, it was like, I showed her a lot of different things. I showed her the necklaces and the rings, and she held a flat stone that was like a smooth one you could mess with if she was irritated, and that's what she chose. Was like, okay. So it just, to me, it kind of like, I don't know, gave me a little bit of hope in that sense that the spell was working, I guess. I don't know. I also.
Oh, it's still going.
There. It is still going. I love it.
It's clinging on for dear life. It'll all of a sudden just go out.
And we won't recognize it, and I won't be able to thank the universe, and it'll just be all bad.
See?
So.
That's the stuff about this, is like, some of this is wildly inconvenient. Like, do you have to just sit here and watch it until it goes out so that you're there at the exact moment that it's done, because you can't blow it out.
I love
but you can't,
like, lighting up as you're talking.
It's on purpose that's doing this, I'm telling you.
It's great.
It is purposefully not going out. It's clinging for dear life to the last little bits of candle that are left in there on purpose.
That's exactly what's happening too.
And I just don't, like, why can't I put the candle out? Why can't I?
Because the candle has to put itself out because the spellbook said.
Because the spellbook said so.
No.
The spellbook also said to do my own thing. So which is it? Which is it?
Which is right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know which witch is right.
All of them. They're all
They're all
right.
right.
They're all wrong.
The candle's still going.
Of course it is. It's still...
You know,
it might just chill that way for a minute because of the oil that's in there.
Well, and there's wax from multiple. I know, they're all like...
No, you can move it. It's very warm.
That way we can at least see it. There we go.
Yeah.
That'll probably be better.
I'm smart
the audience.
sometimes. Although I'm a little dumb because that was a little toasty.
Now your fingers are wet.
Oh, there it goes. Bye.
Thank you. Okay.
The end?
Yep.
Now your spell is cast and now we wait.
And now we wait.
For an indefinite period of time.
Not indefinite. It's not going to be 6 months.
But, like, were you very, very specific, like, pertaining to this particular job opportunity that you're wanting to happen in the next few weeks? Because if not, then your spell may be, like, 6 months from now, and we'll just never know. It'll just pop up out of nowhere, and you'll think, I'm really lucky. And it won't even be this
about the
spell.
job specifically when I was writing my intentions, but the job that I'm putting in for wasn't part of the intentions written. But I did think about it. I thought about that job and a couple of other ones that I could.
Well, is the universe supposed to just read your mind? Am I supposed to just read your mind?
Bitch. I tried. We'll see what happens.
Okay. I'll take that.
We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
With all of this, we'll just see what happens.
I mean, you're going to keep practicing.
Can I just do...
You need to work on the pendulum.
Can I just do, like, spell after spell after spell after spell and see what happens?
I think that's scary.
Like, not the same thing in a row.
I'm dying right now. Hold on.
Like, could I have put a spell
on each
one of those candles? And
now we're sitting here while they burn all the way out, apparently.
I mean, that white one is struggling pretty hard. That one's kind of all over the place. Everybody else is doing okay, though. Mm-hmm. But that white one is really having a tough go at life.
We probably could have put, like, sigils into the candles and let them burn.
And just, like have all these spells out in the universe, like, just hanging out.
I don't know.
Is there a filing system for this?
I don't think that you're allowed to only have one spell out at a time, but I don't think that you should, like, do, like, multiple spells throughout, like, a day. I don't know.
Nobody ever tells you.
They didn't tell us that. They didn't tell us that for sure. None of the books told us that.
Nobody's said. They've told us all of these spells you can do, but at what frequency?
But I also think that the energy at which you put into each spell could decrease depending on if you do, like, spell after spell after spell after spell within, like...
I suppose that's probably true.
An hour.
But then how do you know if your spell didn't work? How long do you wait to figure out if it worked before you try it again, the same spell? Because if you're not getting the right outcome, then obviously the spell didn't work. But how do you know that?
It's the definition of insanity, right?
And and go the same thing over and over and over again, hoping that it works. Like, what?
Maybe you do
At what point do you stop? Do a different spell, but I want the outcome of this spell. Is that where your substitutions come in? Like, okay, well, this one didn't work, so let's try it with this instead.
Yeah. Like this candle magic spell. Theoretically, if it didn't work, we would do the spell a different way.
But for the same outcome, you would need the same things. For the outcome that you're looking for, that's the spell.
Yes, but we could burn it differently. Maybe it would. You said ground cinnamon specifically. Why does it have to be ground cinnamon?
Because that's what it said.
Why can't it be cinnamon sticks? Why can't I write my desires onto the cinnamon stick?
It has to be...
That was that spell book.
Well...
Maybe there's a different spell book that says we can do it differently.
But how do you know what works?
I don't. Until I do it. And it's kind of like life. Like...
So I have to just keep waiting.
You drive and you don't know how to do it the first time you do it, and you just keep on doing it.
But there are people that teach you, and there's a pretty standard way of driving.
We have a good amount of teachers
that are all saying the opposite things of each other. You decided you didn't like ground cinnamon because this witch said it. Well, what if that witch said ground cinnamon?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm just saying, it's confusing, and how do you know it's gonna work
Options.
if you are like really really needing this spell to work? Like, how do you figure out if it's not working so that you can correct it and do it again, but not too close to the first one so that you don't overdo it because that's dangerous. Because like taking medications, did I take that pill? I'm not really sure. Can I take it now? I probably shouldn't if I already did. But how do I know if I did already? That's like how I see this. Like, how am I
So,
knowing if my medication's working before I take another one?
so with this spell specifically, did I include a timeline in it? Not necessarily, but I did specifically.
But there is a timeline built into the
what I'm asking for,
yeah,
within this spell, and so that I feel if the timeline, if I don't get the job, if I don't get the interview, like I didn't get the interview last time, then the spell didn't work, and maybe I put in for a different spell using the same ingredients, doing it a different way, doing the cinnamon, and then okay, so if I have to use ground cinnamon, maybe I write the sigils on, or not the sigils, the declarations on the ground cinnamon, then I ground the cinnamon up, then I do the same thing basically, but I've now doubly insulated my dedications.
Hmm.
I don't know. Options.
Maybe.
And I think that that's specifically why, like, they don't, all of these authors that we're using aren't part of the same coven. They're not part of the same teachings. So it kind of, to me, makes sense that they're all a little bit different, and they still all say, do as do as you want, do as you can, do as you financially are able to, type of a deal. Like,
I mean, I can get behind that to some degree, but if it works, it works, it works, it works. You know what I mean?
yes.
And it won't work if you don't have this, or it won't work if you don't have that. Like baking.
Yeah.
Like if you don't put a leavener in something that you're baking, it's not going to rise.
It's going to rise.
So, like, if the cinnamon in this particular case is to this spell as leavener is to a cake, if you do the spell without ground cinnamon because you don't have it, now you have no leavener. And there are substitutions for leaveners,
Maybe there's
but
substitutions.
the outcome isn't necessarily the same.
Right. And so maybe if you don't use the cinnamon specifically and you have to use something else, maybe your outcome is just a little bit different. And therefore you have to adjust your spell for that, because you would have to adjust for your leavener being gone.
But how the fuck do you adjust for that?
I don't know. We're working on it.
Oh my god.
So many questions.
I have all the questions and none of the
I
answers.
have none of the answers.
Nobody does.
I'm sorry.
That's the consistent part of this. It's expensive and there are no answers.
And they're all telling us it's not supposed to be expensive.
I mean, I keep buying these candles.
I know. I think that's what we keep, like, that's going to be the continual purchase.
We'll just do birthday candles instead.
Maybe.
I'm not buying more candle dishes. They don't have candle dishes for
birthday candles. Yeah, right?
You just want to have cupcakes all over the fucking place with birthday candles.
We could do the tea lights. We could do tea lights. They don't have to be these big old ones. I just think that these all have
they don't have all these colors in tea lights.
I know, they don't. And they don't have all of the different meanings. Although, if we make it.
Make it up.
You and your, very linear.
I don't know what to tell you. I just, it just has to make sense. Like, baking makes sense to me. You don't have a leavener, you don't get a cake. You substitute your leavener, you get a different cake.
Okay.
If it's something you made up along the way and it doesn't turn out the way you wanted it, you just continue making it up. But meanwhile, I needed this spell to work.
So, I'm going to tell you a story. But I'm telling you a story to get to a point.
Okay.
So, the youngest asked me today to go to church.
Okay.
Like, no. And she's like, why don't you go to church with me? And I was like, well, the type of church that mommy goes to is different. It wouldn't
This
be
is your church.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be indoors. Like, I mean, like, this is indoors, obviously, but it's like kind of not too. We have the window open. We have all of our witchy stuff. It's a comfy zone. I could smoke, like, chill. But if this wasn't it, it would be outside. It would be in nature. It would be up north. It would be not in a building surrounded by a bunch of different people. You know what I mean? Like, that's not my church. So, I tell her that, and she's
my
like...
church doesn't have anybody in it either.
It's very minimalist.
It's just because I'm not the people person.
I just don't... I like to do my own spiritualist stuff. I don't want everybody involved in my...
That's how I feel about therapy.
Okay, that's fair.
That's what I went to the beach. That was my therapy, right? Everybody's like, you have to talk to somebody. You have to talk about your feelings. Fuck my feelings.
So keep using the ocean, but use it more often too, not just while you're sleeping.
Listen. Listening to it, not the same. It's a smell. It's a feeling. It's more than just noise.
So they have this smell, like the smelling salts, basically, or like the incense, and you can get... I know you have to work at it. I know that. Anyways, what I'm getting at is she asked, she's like, well, do you believe in God? And I said, I don't believe in one single God that's a man. Like, I don't believe in one single God that's a man. And she kind of looked at me, and I was like, well... I don't.
I mean, there are better times to have that conversation than on the way to church.
Well, I believe that there are lots of different creators, and there are lots of different... One person couldn't have created the whole fucking universe. One being.
And it's super okay to believe that, and it's super okay to tell her that you believe that, even though she's going to church with grandma.
So, yes. So,
I mean, that's super not a problem. It's not bad. I just would have picked different timing.
I wasn't trying to have the whole conversation, but she asked me, and I was like, no, I'm not going to church, and here's why. And that was it. It was the end of the conversation. She went off to church. We gave kisses. It was fine. But what I'm getting at to you is that I believe that there are energies in everything. Like, everything.
I can get behind that.
There's atoms in everything. So everything has an energy to it. It's all moving within... Look, now it's smoke, and it's going to be in my face.
You're such a diva.
Why is there smoke at me? But that's my belief. So if everything is energy, then I have to believe that there's more. There's more than just what we can see. Now, am I willing to get behind all of the different types of, like, Buddha religions? And I don't have a desire to learn about all of that, but I'm open-minded to all of that stuff. I don't really want to have a God that I pray to. I like talking to Mother Earth. So maybe that, because yours is ocean, maybe you need to instill that belief, that energy belief, that Mother Ocean belief, Mother Earth belief type of thing. You know what I mean? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. But I said energies, and you said I can get behind that.
I can get behind it. I mean, even from a scientific perspective, everything has energies and it's not a foreign concept to me. I can get behind that everything has energy. Now, whether or not that energy is a finite amount, like, is there only so much energy going around, and what you have is what you have, and that's it?
But why would that possibly
be? Is it a renewable...
I mean, when you go to the beach, you get renewed. You walk away feeling refreshed, and...
But that doesn't give me new energy. I feel like that has...
Oh, I would disagree with that. As you're sitting there on the beach, you probably don't even notice that it's being grounding. Like, it's been grounding you this whole time. Like, your feet...
Just sitting at the beach, definitely. I don't get to go to the beach.
I'm sorry. That's not my fault. You live here.
So, living here and that being my happy place is problematic.
Well, maybe your answer is you get, like, a little, like, seashell, but like a big little seashell, or a plate full of sand, and you have sand and you can turn your water on and you are at the beach. I get the smell, I get the waves, I get the whole you're still lacking things, but you have to make it up, make believe. Use your imagination a little bit. You have one still.
It's a struggle. It's uh it's a focus issue. And it's, I like all those things and I understand, and like when I'm at the beach and all of the sights and smells and sounds and all the things that make it the beach,
The beach.
And my favorite thing, being actually in it is one thing. It's physically like cleansing my energy, whatever you want to, grounding me, whatever you want to do. But eventually I will be thinking about other things while I'm at the beach. And that's the part that I struggle with already while I'm at the beach and it's doing it. And now you want me to do that when I don't have. And it's just, I struggle with that concept.
You already struggle when you're in your zone and you're already like.
Yes.
And now you're not even in your zone and you want me to pretend I'm in my zone and I'm going to struggle through it.
Yes.
Okay.
So, you want to know why I'm having such a hard time grounding and you tell me practice, practice, practice? Now you understand what that means.
So we're going to get her a plate of sand for next week.
You can do a little sandbox. Can it be in the shape of the turtle?
Yes. Can probably have a couple of different dishes then.
A little baby sandbox.
Do a turtle, we'll do a fish, we'll do a seahorse.
Seahorse sandbox?
No, not big ones. Just little like ashtray looking things that have sand so you can like stick your fingers in it or like mess with it and relax yourself. Like, like petting a cat, after a while it becomes like an automatic motion, or even your dogs because you have dogs.
I have a million dogs.
But it just becomes an automatic motion and it starts to like relax you by default. Maybe you need something like that. It makes sense.
But it's sand.
I know.
And I have a million dogs.
It can stay in here. Or on your altar.
I don't have one.
I know. We'll make you one.
I also don't have space for one.
That's debatable. You just need a tabletop.
The tabletops that I have, if they are currently unoccupied, it's because I need that space to be unoccupied because I occupy it with things along the way. And if the space is occupied, it's there for a reason because that's why it fits there. And there's no other place for it to go. I literally had to strategically place everything that's in my house so that I got to keep it.
Okay.
Because if I couldn't find a place for it, it had to
leave.
Go. And I wasn't doing that well.
Well, if you're saying no to all of the things, I can't help you.
I can be a witch without an altar.
You can't be a witch who doesn't know how to ground herself.
I just have to figure out a way around it.
Grounded? A way around grounding? You should just do that as a natural, daily cleanser.
Just because you get along very well with the ground.
Okay. Bug doesn't believe in any of this stuff, right? She said it before, she's very atheist about all of this stuff. I gave her 2 stones when she was in the middle of her conniption. And I told her to sit there with them in her hands and just close her hands and just sit there. She still continued her meltdown while she sat there for a few minutes. And then she stopped. And then she sat there quietly for a few more minutes. And then I said to her, "Do you feel better?" She said a little bit. So, you can do it without all of the stuff that makes it your grounding specifically, but you have to do it with a something.
Do you think that maybe it was because she just sat there quietly?
Well, she wasn't quiet when I first handed her the stones. She was still having her conniption. And it just, yes. Do I think that the fact that I kind of gave her space
to sit there, just sit there quietly.
Just
take a minute. You're overstimulated. Just sit there quietly for like 5 minutes.
Yes.
And then you'll feel better.
Yes, but I don't think she would have done it necessarily without the stones in her hands, without me like having to force her to do it. And I don't know, but I would like to believe that the stones were helpful in that instance. She doesn't believe in the stone magic, but I do. And the stones are, whether or not she believes
and maybe
in
that's
energy,
what I
the
need.
energy
Maybe
is there.
that's what I need is for
she doesn't have to believe
something
in it.
to be fixed by it, by whatever magic it is. I need to see that it works. I need to see your spell work, or I need to see something that is definitive proof that the first spell worked.
Okay.
Or something. I need some proof. Or a sign. Or a feeling. Or something.
Are you open to all of those things?
Well, I'm very much looking for them, so...
That did not answer my question at all. You open to them. Because you can't just... Sorry, words suck. You can't... They do. You can't just necessarily be looking. You have to be open to seeing the things that are not like, okay.
Okay, but if I'm looking for it, I obviously am willing to believe that it exists to some degree.
Fair.
Right? So fair. I'm looking for it, so I know that it's there. I know that there is something to look for. I'm just needing some proof before I fully invest in something that I find out is not what I anticipated. If the proof is in the cupcake, give me the cupcake.
I mean, my belief came from the energy. Like, that was where I was like, okay, this is something that I can understand. Something that I've been taught in school is that energy and matter and atoms and mass and all of that. So if energy is real, bad energy is real, negative, good, all of that.
And I agree with that.
And is real.
I do the knocking on wood thing and the salt over the shoulder thing. You know, we've talked about that a dozen times because those are
so why can't I manipulate it? So why can't if I can change my own energy based upon my mood daily, if I can let others change my energy based upon their mood and their reactions with me daily, and it's manipulatable, and it's like transferable, why can't I manipulate it? Why can't I take an energy from a candle or a crystal and use it and then release it and give it back?
How do you measure that? How do you know that you've done that successfully?
Because energy doesn't, I mean, it's there. It doesn't. To me, it was the feeling better. To me, it was the going up north and seeing the trees that you obviously can't get into the beach with. But that was, to me, finding it's all there, and just open up your mind. And it wasn't a believing, it was an opening. You're looking at me like I'm the dork.
Because how do you expect me to believe in something that I can't prove works?
Why do you believe in a God that you can't prove is only good? You know what I mean? Like, why
well, in all fairness, nobody said is only good.
And that, I'll give you that. But you know what I mean? Like, why?
But, and it's not something that I'm actively believing in necessarily. I'm not practicing Christianity of any kind currently. I haven't been going to church.
Right.
I am not opposed to going to church. If the family wants to go to church, I'm not going to be the guy that says, no, I'm not going to church today.
Not believe in it. You don't.
I don't know what to believe. And that's my problem with Christianity too.
Okay, so believe that everything is
like,
energy.
Prove something to me.
Science did that when they proved that everything was energy. Everything was atoms.
Okay,
Everything has
but
energy to it.
can you prove your manipulation?
I can't because I'm not good at it. Do you want me to find you a witch that can?
If that's what it takes.
Okay, that is our next goal, you guys.
Because I am not going to just do things for absolutely no reason and then continue to do them hoping that it works and not ever knowing if it does.
I mean, we're new in practicing in general, so.
But, like, show me the end game. Because all I know about witches is what I've seen in movies, and that's not the thing.
So we have to find you a witch in real life.
Apparently.
That's what I'm getting from this conversation.
I mean, I've read their books, and they say all the things, but my concern is that we're going to find this witch, and she's going to say a combination of all of these that witches have already said.
And then she's going to tell you to do your own thing.
And, yeah. Do what works for you. None of it has worked for me.
So show me how it worked for you. So show me that it worked for you, type of a deal. That's what you want.
Show me that it worked for you, and then give me that exact recipe.
But it might not work for you. Don't look at me like that.
I can't.
I don't think it's like baking.
It's very obviously not like baking.
I will find you a witch.
I
don't know how to do that, but I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Goals. I bet you there's one at the metaphysical store. The crystal shop.
There was a psychic lady in there.
I know. We should have done it.
How?
Words are hard.
How do you know who you can trust?
I don't know that.
Because we talked about the psychic thing, that we both went to the psychic and they were all wrong.
Terrible.
So how do you know who you can trust? That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, okay.
It just wasn't working.
I don't know the answer to that question.
See? Nobody does.
Maybe.
No. Find out next time. Teach me how to be a witch.
Bye, guys.